What do you love the most about the band? Being a part of Dakota Jones and what they're doing?
Just the energy, the vibe. I feel like I have a secret that nobody knows about. Mm-hmm. And I've been holding on to it for such a long time, and now finally people are going to be able to see the amazingness that it is. Damn, you remember when you heard them for the first time?
Oh my God. Do I remember? Do I remember? Yes. I got home from an interview at a label, and I sat down on the couch. I had been very mentally exhausted, and I remember I wanted to watch something that made me laugh. And I kept seeing an ad on Netflix, new films, top 10, and there was a film called Always Be My Maybe. And I sat there to watch it, and I loved it. I was cracking up. It was such a cute film. But there's one scene in that film where Miss Ali Wong, she turns on her stereo, she's in her kitchen, and that moment I heard that part of that song, I went, I remember I perked up. I was like, hold the phone. I was like, hold the phone, who is this? I remember I stopped Netflix, rewound it, took up my phone, I Shazammed it, and then I immediately went to iTunes. I got everything. I went to Spotify, got everything, and then I DM'd her immediately. And I had never, and I react to music like that.
You do.
I'm obsessed.
You do. Totally obsessed.
Anybody that knows me knows I'm obsessed. When I hear something, I have an affinity for it immediately, especially when it's amazing and beautiful. And I DM'd her. I didn't think that she was gonna actually answer back at all. Yeah. I was like, who am I? Who's she gonna answer to? And she did. And I asked her, I was like, who are you? Where are you? Please tell me you're in New York. When are you performing again? And she goes, lucky for you, we're performing at Friday at the Bowery Electric. And then that's when I went to meet her. I remember shitting bricks. I was so nervous. I was so nervous to meet her.
She has such a presence, yes. For sure.
Yeah, such a presence. And I remember I saw her and I waited until the whole show was over. And I said, fuck it. I'm gonna run up to her and I'm gonna say, I love your music. I know I can help you. We need to talk. Give me an hour of your time. And she was like, sure, okay. We exchanged information right then and there. And that's how it happened. We had a meeting like a week after that weekend. It was on a Sunday. Our meeting was only supposed to be an hour, and it ended up being 6. And then the rest is history, and it started. Yeah, I just started, and she allowed me that opportunity. I'll never forget that. I'll always be grateful for that.
No.
But I knew that I would start in music in an unorthodox way. It wouldn't be through a label. It wouldn't be, I'd have to earn my stripes.
Or singing.
Or yeah, exactly. I like the business of music, the business of making things happen for somebody else, because essentially they're happening for me.
Yeah.
And I always knew in the back of my mind, I was like, you need to be part of it.
And here I am.
Here we are. We did it.
My whole entire body's in a deep blue black drought. You hear me from a mile away. Still pop the twist. The sound of champagne bottles gonna miss.
So happy you made it, girl. So
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy for you guys.
We've been talking about
reminiscing
about everything
about
how we got
where
here.
we're at, yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of fans, they do ask, how did you become a band? How did this come to pass? All of us working together, but how did you guys become a band first, before us? Like, how did this begin with Dakota Jones?
I mean, I've always made music, and I had little solo things that I did before the band, but singing in public is my greatest fear, forever.
Interesting.
It has always been the thing that I love the most, and the thing that just scares the shit out of me the most. And while I was making music alone, I had the option of just never sharing it, or like never having to perform and keeping it just all really close to my chest. And then one day our drummer Steve moved to New York and was hanging out with one of our friends from home actually, and her boyfriend played guitar and they started jamming. And Steve one day was just like, you should come to the rehearsal space and sing with us, and I said, absolutely not. And,
Steve knew you could sing at that time? Like he knew?
Yeah, I mean, I'd been performing, I'd been in plays and stuff with him, and
so he knew
that I was a singer, but I just, that I was
secretly, you were secretly, so he was messing with you when he's like, girl, you should come sing.
He knew I could sing. Like there were a couple of times he came over to my house just to hang out, and we'd be sitting around drinking, and I sing when I'm peeing, I sing when I'm doing the dishes, I sing all the time, and he would be like, this is not this is not fair that you are
Or
just
not
keeping,
just- yeah, you're not doing
or
something
keeping
with
it
it
to
yet.
yourself. And he'd be like, fuck you. And
He guilt tripped you into singing, basically. Sarah.
yeah, I mean, he was just like, what else are you doing? Just come down and jam with us. It's
Right.
very low pressure. And we started out doing like covers, and I hated it. I hated every time I had to go down there. I was just like, this is a waste of my time. And I'm just uncomfortable. I was just scared.
Yeah.
And one day I don't know how it happened, but one day we just ended up randomly writing a song. And once it was done, the three of us looked at each other like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. It was just,
Really?
just
You guys knew,
immediately,
like,
we were
right
like,
then
this
and
is
there.
what we're supposed
Do you
to be
remember
doing.
that song?
I think it was Leave Me Alone. No. Was it not Have Mercy? Hear Me Now?
I think it was.
Can you imagine? It was one
Can
of
you
it was one of the first 3 songs that we ever released. Either Hear Me Now or Leave Me Alone. I don't remember because I would just drink through those practices. I was so nervous that like I just
Really?
didn't know what to do with myself.
You can never
It's-
tell that you're nervous. You don't have that energy about you at all.
did
Like, and
that.
if you are, nobody would ever know it. Your presence is
Well-
so big when you're performing that you could never
Being on
pick
stage
one up in it.
is different.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you get over that. But so we finished the song, and it was just us as a 3-piece, and we knew we needed a bass player because every respectable band needs a bass
Bass player, right?
We brought in Scott, and from then on, we stopped doing covers. We just started writing music, and we wrote so much music so quickly. It was just like dumping out of us when we were all
Yeah.
together, and within a couple of months we recorded our first EP, and yeah, it's just kind of been.
Where was the first place you guys actually performed at as a band in New York City?
Well, the first place that we ever performed was a birthday party in Steve's living room.
Oh my
In preparation for our first,
I know.
the first time that we'd ever play in front of a big group of people, at a little music festival called Toe Jam upstate.
Okay.
And oh my God, that was like the scariest shit I've ever done.
Really?
Like,
Because it was
yes,
like, for
it
real,
was
there's
just-
people there at the festival.
There was about 150 people. Like it was a small.
Might as well have been 150,000.
It could have. It took me so long to stop being scared shitless of getting up there and doing it. But eventually, being in a room with the boys and making the music that we're making and doing what we're doing, it's just clear, I think, to us and to the people around us, to you guys, that this is what we are supposed to be doing.
Right.
And I just don't have a choice I can't keep it to myself anymore.
Absolutely, it would be
I'm
wrong.
glad you didn't.
It would be
'cause
wrong.
We're having the time of our lives with it. So, knowing that you guys have come this far, and then how did you guys get into the Netflix film? How did that happen? Because I feel like anybody that doesn't know the band
Yeah.
and the music, their entry, like their gateway drug is Have Mercy.
Yeah.
And that has been the one that's pushed everything.
You're not a true fan unless you
Yeah,
know
you're
that.
not a true fan unless you
Which
know
is
that.
so random to me. Like when I think about the fact that is the song, it just blows my mind because that is, I don't know. I mean, I remember that's one of my favorite songs that I've ever made, and I remember the process of making it so vividly. But I would have never guessed that was going to be the thing that was like, that is our song now at the moment.
How did that song happen? Like, how did it come about? What inspired that? Because we've been asked a lot to say, we're like, oh, we gotta ask the band.
For me, it's always the same two things. It's like broken hearts and alcohol is just everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just heartbreak.
Gin and regret.
Yeah, that's
It'll
that's
do
my
something
middle
to you.
name. Yeah, it was just heartbreak. And one day, Scott sent me just a track that he'd been working on, and it started out with the doom, doom,
The famous bass part.
yeah, and immediately, and I think it was on a bus going home or something. I just took out my phone and I wrote down that song in like 2 minutes. And that's the way that my favorite ones always come out. I will not,
That's not fair.
Yeah.
I refuse, well,
I definitely don't
the
have
flip
that
side
talent.
of that is I can't control it. Like I can't control when the inspiration happens. When it happens, it's just there and then the song
Yeah.
is done. But if it's not, I'm just like, I have nothing. Yeah, he sent it to me. I wrote that song very quickly, sent it right back to him, and then, yeah, so the demo is like a weird, like electronic version of the song. I still love it though.
Ooh, I want to hear that one day.
I've never shared that
No.
with you? No?
Girl, you're holding out.
I'll send that to you. I'll send that to you in a little bit.
To us.
Yeah, but then we brought the boys in to make it all live instruments, and that was it.
So,
Yeah.
a lot of fans out there, I've listened, and I'm going to ask, so you guys are all going to finally know, is Dakota Jones working on an album?
That's what they're all asking you?
Yes, they have. Through DMs, I get them all the time.
Yeah, of course we're working on an album. On our first album.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we have just a lot of stockpiled music. So the task has been figuring out exactly how to curate this first one. The first baby to release out into the world. And yeah, but I'm hoping to record it in the fall and have something out
For
early next year. Yeah.
Perfect. Other question that people want to know. I'm going by what I've gotten in my DMs from people. They want to know, how do you go about picking your outfits for the show? And what helps you decide that? Because you're known for your hair and the red sparkly lips when you're on stage, but what goes into your process of picking your outfit? Do you get inspired by anything, or?
It's really just the location, mainly.
Really?
Like, it depends on where I know that the hair is gonna be big and I'm going to be wearing a lot of glitter. Other than that, it's just kind of like...
Spontaneous?
It just depends on where I'm at. Like, certain venues, I think, dictate certain looks. I went through, like, early on when we started performing, I was very diligent about, like, every time I perform, I'm gonna have some new shit. I gotta get my new outfit. And then I started going broke, and I was like, we can
Change everything.
We need to change that up a little bit. But yeah, I think just the fun part about that is the person that I am on stage is so very different than the person that I am here, or the person that I am just behind closed doors. And that bitch just likes glitter. I don't know.
She does. She looks
just
good in
likes
glitter,
big
though.
She
outfits.
does. Oh,
Yeah.
she's
She looks
all
good
about the
in
glitter.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we first met?
Yeah, I do. At Beverly Electric. I remember.
Did you think I was nuts?
No, and
approaching you?
every time you say that, I'm like, it was the most. It just felt so right to me immediately. Like, upon meeting you, I knew that I think that we both knew where it was going.
It's the weirdest thing. I can't even explain it, but I know that it was like meant to be.
Because I did not know who you were or like what you wanted, but I just felt that, I don't know, we were supposed to be in each other's lives.
That's what she said, that you kept on saying that.
And then when I started to notice that you're like, you know, because it's hard when you are an independent band and you're doing everything yourself. And I always knew instinctually that whatever I was a part of, I wanted her to be a part of it, because she has so many beautiful artistic ideas.
Yeah.
And she loves social media.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second. It only makes sense.
You guys balance each other out really well.
But had it not been for you guys, we would have never started Dual Fit Management. Because of you guys, we got our first opportunity to do that. And now we're at this point now.
Yeah.
With managing you guys and creating content and getting beautiful stories out there about the most amazing musicians, session players, professors in music, producers, engineers. Like, that is the point of why we're doing this. And there's so many amazing stories that nobody knows about because either A, nobody cares to talk about it, and it's not always about the artist, although we know that the artist is essential to whatever you're listening to, without a doubt, sure. But what about everybody else behind the scenes?
Right.
You never know who you're going to inspire to do something, and for you, we're that for us. So you gave us our first opportunity, and it's been a beautiful relationship. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better way that it happened.
Yeah.
And it's helped her a lot too, in many ways, grow like artistically too, with what she's doing with the social media and the content for you guys. And she has so many ideas that she still hasn't told you guys, you know? So it's just a revolving, it just keeps happening.
I mean, it's the same thing for us. Being with you guys makes us want to work harder, you know? And just be better and keep... Because a lot of the time still, like, there's such a big part of me that is just as scared as I always was to be doing this.
Yeah.
But...
Same here.
Yeah.
Likewise. Yeah, I don't ever want to lose that.
Yeah.
We gotta stay
I don't think I will. I think I have just an anxiety disorder. But
you and me both, girl.
I know. I mean, yeah, being a part of a team too, and working towards what we're working towards together, I think
makes it easier.
It just makes it. I know that we have to keep going.
What would you say out of everything we've done has been your favorite place to perform at? I know the night for me that stands out the most
What?
was Berlin.
Actually, that
night was
I feel
special.
Like that
yeah.
Probably if you asked us across the board, it's Berlin. I don't know what was going on that night.
But I mean, we did so much promotion for that. I mean, we did promotion for all of them, but that night,
yeah,
people
it was something
screaming.
in the air though. It wasn't
like,
just
Lord,
like
I couldn't. That was
it was
insane.
beyond what we had
Yeah.
planned for.
Yeah. I think they were surprised. They didn't expect it.
Yeah.
You guys rock it though. You bring it down all the time. Bring it down the house.
You always
And
leave with a whole bunch of new
Yeah.
fans every time you leave. A lot of people are like, damn, why didn't I know about them sooner?
And yes,
well,
to fans out there, she's genuinely that nice to everybody. She's not a snob. No, this is her.
I feel like it's so important to me that it's a shock to me how many people come out and want to listen, and people are so like genuinely showing love for what we're doing that I want to thank everybody, and I want to spend time with everybody every night we have a show. Which is why I'm like all over the place every time we perform. But
Fans love that song.
it's just important to me. I'm in disbelief that anybody's even there. So I want to say thank you.
Would you change anything about how you got to where you got right now?
No,
I wouldn't either.
no.
Because I know it's easy to look back and to think, hey, Jess, Tristan, would we change anything? I honestly wouldn't. I don't.
No.
I love how everything has
Then we
happened.
wouldn't be here. Yeah.
And I like that we have to work hard and earn what we're doing.
Right.
It's all the better. It
Yeah.
makes it sweeter, you know, the success that we're having. Which leads me to this other thing.
Yeah.
Tommy Hilfiger. How
Oh.
did you feel when you got approached by a brand like Tommy Hilfiger that recognized the band and their music as one of the hottest bands to watch in NYC? And then they put you in the social media campaign.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
That was so funny to me because they were so sweet, like every step of the way. I think that one of their PR people just came to one of our shows.
Yeah.
We played.
They went
Brooklyn
to
Brewery.
the Brooklyn Brewery. That's what it was. Yeah.
And then got in touch with me afterwards through a friend. And I was so nervous to take the call, and the guy's name was George, and he was going through everything that we were going to do, like what they wanted to do for the campaign. And at the end, he was like, "Is that something you'd be interested in?" And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
You're like, of course, it's Tommy Hilfiger.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure I'll do it. No, it was amazing. I couldn't believe that. And every step of the way, I was waiting for it to be like taken away from me. Like, didn't believe that it was happening. But everybody, they were all so sweet, and it was such a fun experience. Yeah.
God, I remember when I saw the photos, I was like, Jesse, this. You know why? Not that it shocked me. I'm not surprised that it shocked me or anything like that. It's more of the point of that so young in your career as an independent artist, you're getting these opportunities. So we're onto something.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no
feel like
denying that. Like, at least, you know,
that's
when you hear the music and everything and you feel it.
The
I'm not
reoccurring
surprised.
theme of, not just on our end, but for Dual Femme too, like once, I feel like there was a long time where I wasn't actively pursuing music, and it made me crazy, like made me sick. I was a different person. Yeah, and then and it was all just fear, but once I opened myself up to just push past it and actually got on the path to doing what I feel I'm supposed to be doing, things just open up. I met you, and I mean, now we are where we are, but you can't get there unless you take that leap. But I think that once you're on your path and doing what you are supposed to be doing, things just open up. When you're working for it, things open up, I think. Yeah.
Welcome to Brooklyn. How
thought he was
has
just
the
gonna
quarantine affected your writing process?
Oh, God. I mean, I think initially I was just so overwhelmed. There were so many things that we had planned that we had to just kind of put to the side that I don't know, I kind of shut down a little bit. But it was, I tried to use a lot of that time to just be as meditative as possible, and I don't know, be grateful for so many people lost so many things, and at least we still had our health, and you know, our families are okay, and so I was kind of just, I was trying to be as meditative as possible and grateful as possible, and I was not writing at all. I don't know, just trying to, we were going so fast and so hard all of the time.
Yeah.
That I think it was probably good that we got a little time to take a break and really think about what we're doing and where we're going and just be okay with the quiet for a little bit. And then, I don't know, towards the beginning of the summer, we started just cranking out music. We recorded like 13 demos over the course of 2 or 3 weeks. And yeah.
It's beautiful. The stuff is beautiful. Oh my God.
Thank you.
I got to hear it first already out there. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and that's part of the music that we're curating now for the album. But I didn't want to feel pressure to, like, now I have time stuck at home. I have to be productive.
Yeah.
I tried not to do that to myself as much as possible, and just kind of, because like I said, I don't have control over when I write or when I create at all. When it's there, it's there, and when it's not, it's not. And I don't like to force things. I can't sit down and like.
Yeah.
And if it's not coming, I'm not gonna.
Did you always know that you wanted the sound of the band? Because I get asked this a lot too. She's got asked this a lot too. How did you guys decide that you guys wanted to mix rock, soul, and blues together?
I never thought.
Because usually, you know how I'm not saying all bands do this, but they'll usually stick to a genre. But you have blended it in so beautifully, and it just sounds like you guys created it.
I mean, it was never a conscious thing. I think if I was to, you know, sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, it has a little soul to it. That's just like the way that my voice sounds. But I never thought of myself as like a soul or rock singer. I never thought of myself as any kind of singer. But I think that the sound is just kind of a natural combination of where we all come from musically.
What you like what you enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, we all grew up with access to everything, like, and just, you know, abusing LimeWire to get all the music you can get your hands on. But I mean, in the house I grew up with a lot of rock and soul and R&B, and I feel like the boys kind of lean towards rock, classic rock, or like modern alternative rock. And
who's your favorite out of every like old school stuff, or who like would be the one that inspires you the most?
I mean, I
know it's hard
to
ask, like even answer that.
I feel like Chaka Khan is always the woman that stands out in my mind as like my big-haired, big-voiced icon. That's my girl.
I remember like her and I when we were at a show. It was at the Bitter End. I love that venue. That venue, because there's so much history there and it's such an institution in New York City. You have to go if you've never been. But when you did Benny and the Jets, Jesse and I lost our minds. We were screwed, like we were so excited. Yeah, and she took footage of that moment because you had said, "Oh, we have a surprise for you," and you didn't tell us what it was. She's like, "Don't tell." I love Elton John, and you know, anybody that knows me out there knows that I'm obsessed with old music. It's just the love of my life. But when you did Benny and the Jets, holy shit, I was so excited. She was like, "Oh my God," we literally lost our minds.
Yeah, I think I remember
you do covers in such a way. No, that, and then when you had did the Lizzo cover at the Bowery Electric. Nobody expected that.
Yeah, that was, I think, because we lean towards, I guess because of the way that we sound, we kind of lean towards classic soul and rock
you
songs
did it so
whenever we do covers.
Nice. So, what do you see for the future for yourself?
I mean, I want to go on tour.
Yeah, that's what we're focusing on for sure.
Is the main thing. I don't know, you know, when that's going to be. We have to be patient with that now at this point. But I just want to travel and spread the music as far as we can spread it, and tour and just make some really good records. And I just really want to see the world via the music. You know,
it's gonna be so dope. It's gonna be awesome.
I think what happened with everything, I think it was a necessary thing. I think the traction that we had was great and amazing, but it's just another opportunity for when everything is back to normal again, that we're going to be able to come even harder, like hit harder.
Yeah.
You know?
And with it, just a different energy for it too. I feel like I can't, once we are able to get back on a stage, it's gonna, first of all, if I can make it through without just weeping the whole time.
She'll be crying through every song.
Yeah. It's gonna just be, it's gonna feel so much, I mean, it's gonna feel different. But just the opportunity to share the music again is what I'm waiting for.
You ready?
Yeah.
Well,
we'll be ready.
We're in the best city in the world. We're fortunate to live here. We're fortunate to have you come and visit us.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite thing about the best city in the world, New York?
Everything, girl. It's everything.
You can't pick one thing, right?
No, I've been obsessed with this place for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
And it's just, I hope that I never get tired of walking down the street and just being, you know, having my mind, it's just beautiful. Everything about it is beautiful to me.
Even the hard stuff, right? Even like there's some beauty in that. I know it sounds poetic, but honestly, New York has been, I think, the most beautiful thing that could have happened in my life.
Right.
And knowing that I can share it with people that I love.
Yeah.
And you have gotten to see the city.
I love it.
Not only through your own eyes, but why I love it so much. And this adds on to the cake even more. This is the cherry on top.
Absolutely.
That we're pursuing what we're pursuing, but we get to do it in the best city in the world. Like how grateful I am for that, beyond words. New York is
the love of your life.
Oh,
it's true. The
hard competition for men out there. You're gonna have to compete with New York. Yeah, it's the best thing. The best boyfriend ever has been New York City for me, for sure. What do you love about New York so much?
The energy, the vibes, it's so different. Inspires you, right? Absolutely, inspiration around every block, and then just the vibes, being a part of it. Like I almost feel like I miss out by not living here. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're gonna come here soon.
I love it.
It's only a matter of time for you. That is our goal.
We just don't let her go home.
Yeah, we don't. We're just gonna keep you. Good. Anything you want to tell to your fans out there today?
I mean, just thank you, honestly. That's I can't believe that.
I love how they love you guys.
I mean, I hope that we all stay as hungry and grateful as we have been, but it'd all be, you know, impossible without people loving the music the way that they do. As long as we can keep having that relationship, you know, as long as the stuff that I'm making is making somebody feel something, that's all I can ask for. And it's mind-blowing to me still, and I hope it always is. Yeah.
It will always be that way. It's awesome. I thank you for my first opportunity in it, and I know you feel the same. Like it's been so much fun, and we've learned so much. And it's crazy what happens when you follow your gut.
Exactly.
I've learned that's been a big lesson for me. Just fucking jump, man.
Right.
Just go.
Exactly.
Just go. Everything will literally open up along the way. Like if somebody were to tell me last year you're gonna meet a 10-foot tall girl named Tristan who goes by Dakota Jones, you're gonna hear it in a movie, your best friend is gonna come along for the ride with you and join you in creating your first whole project with everything. It's gonna extend to where I would have been like, yeah, right. Would have never believed it.
But it required taking a huge leap, making yourself very uncomfortable, you know?
Oh, and I did.
Yeah.
That's a story I don't tell anybody. It was so very uncomfortable, but the thing is that I needed to do that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, well, you know, the only thing I had to go on and what she had to go on was we were both managers of major companies, making major money for them, you know what I mean? And we're not dealing with a business that was just, millions. Like she was involved in music, I was involved in the world of luxury, like they're all connected in some way, you know, but I always knew in my heart that I wanted to pursue this and I have no regrets with it at all whatsoever, so.
Yeah, and now you're doing it for you.
Yeah, which is key.
Not nobody else.
Exactly, and it's just extending to different things, so.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Grateful is the theme here, for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm thankful for you guys. I feel like we don't say it enough, well.
Yeah, we do.
Not we
yeah,
say
we
it
do.
too much is what I mean. Every other
we
second.
Say it a lot. And you know what? I love that we still take time to remember, and we do reminisce about things all the time.
Yeah.
We don't just do it because we had a good night at a bar one night, or because we had a good show, or we got a good opportunity to be in another movie. Yes, it's happening again, but I'm just saying, like, you know, there's, you know, it's a constant. And if I'm gonna work with somebody, if she's like, we both want to feel like there's that sense of humility, and gratitude, because that does open up doors.
I think so too.
And then of course, on top of that, the balls to believe in yourself. Because I swear I could be an astronaut. I mean, if you tell me enough, I will make that happen.
I know you could, girl.
She could. You know she could. And she'd be a damn good astronaut too.
Times, okay, but I'm just saying, like, I just think we all have, and I love how it's helped her as well. Like,
The world.
it's been awesome. It's just been so beautiful.
I think that's the thing.
So the album is coming out soon, next year. Look out for it. And follow Dakota Jones.
Thank you, girl.
It's been fun.
I'm so happy to see you. I'm
I
just
know.
happy to be with you.
Hi guys, so just wanted to just leave you with a little bit of a tidbit of something today. Independent bands are super important. Independent music is important. If you ever had the opportunity to go to a venue, whether it be New York City, California, Florida, does not matter. If you have an opportunity to see these bands, go out there and support them. You never know what you might discover. You never know what you might fall in love with. So I definitely am a zealot when it comes to the world of music, but I wouldn't have traded my opportunity in the world of music the way that I have. Like, I don't regret anything that I've done. And I have such a love and a fondness for how hard these bands work. So the next time you see a musician on the train, if you see them on a corner singing, support them. Support them. They are literally doing this as a labor of love. So until then, make sure you keep an ear out, because you never know whose ears are walking by. Bye, guys.